Hello guys, this is Adam and I have the MacBook Neo base model with the indigo color in it. And here I do have the Huion Canvas 16 Pro, the 4K model. As you can see, the tablet is giant, it's 16 inches. There is not a lot of space for me to show it as a whole, but that's the tablet that I have right here in front of me. And my goal with this test is to see if display tablets work off the MacBook Neo. I have a feeling it would work without any issues. However, what I want to know, would it work through one cable? Would it work through 3 cables? Or would it work that I need a dongle and then connect it through HDMI to the Mac? We will see. So here I have actually everything that comes from Huion. So we do have the USB-A to USB-A. That's if you have a Windows computer. And then here you have this abomination, which is basically the HDMI. With the HDMI, you have another 2 normal USB cables. And then these would be connected into the tablet through those 2 cables right here. Then I have high-speed cable right here, which is usually with my M1 Max MacBook Pro. Through that one cable, I can actually run the monitor without any issues. And lastly, which is the option that would probably work, you have here a normal USB power adapter right here, which is very similar to the one that you get with the iPhone. However, the only difference it's normal USB. And speaking about the normal USB, you do have this right here, and then that is normal USB, which is USB-A as well, and then it goes into USB-C at the bottom. And I believe the way that it's worked, we're gonna power it through this, and then the second cable would be connected, the USB-C would be connected to this, and then it would work. And I will be starting with this combination because I think this combination that is the cleanest and the one that would work, and I really do not want to deal with this mess right here because this is not it. Because if I want to work with this crazy mess right here, I will get a Windows laptop. And I do not like that. I am getting Macs because usually they are streamlined in terms of input. Now this is connected and this is the USB-C, so I'm gonna connect the USB-C right here. However, before that, let's test with one cable. Would it work? So turn it on. Okay, actually it turned on. What? Is it gonna work? Oh no, it says no signal. To be expected. I'm like, yeah, there is no way it would work only with one cable. Or maybe it would. Let's see. Because here on my laptop, all what I have... Wait, it worked! What? There is no way. Wait. That is the pen. Let's test it. It's working! Okay! Okay! Color me surprised, I guess. Through one cable and it's working? Wait, let's go to the display. I guess it's working, but maybe it's working only in the tablet mode. So basically the display tablet, so nothing will be shown in here. However, in a general sense, it's working right here. But let's just double check. Yeah, no, I guess that's that. Let's go ahead and do my theory. So I am going to plug this into the wall and then plug it directly into the laptop. So I'm gonna do that into the second input right here. Sorry, not the laptop, the tablet. This is the one that is going through the laptop right now, and this one will be going directly to the power. So I am simply gonna connect it to the power right now. Okay, I connected it. Let's see, are we gonna... So we are still getting no signal. Is it going to be noticed by the MacBook Neo? Not yet. Let me replace the cables. Okay, it's working now. So I simply just exchanged those cables right here and it worked. So start mirroring. No, I want it as an extended display. It's working. Let me do something brave. I'm gonna connect the power and see if I disconnect the power, would it keep going? No, if I disconnect the power, it will turn off. Is it gonna give us no signal or is it trying to connect? What's gonna happen? I think it's trying to connect, but it's not getting enough power. So the setup that I have is the upper one connected to the power directly, so through the power outlet, and then directly right here, a single cable, and then the second cable is connected to the laptop right there. However, this, to have it run as a display, as an extended display, as you can see right here, I had this cable right here, the second one, be connected to the higher power output, the USB cable. So I'm gonna unplug it from the higher power USB output thingy, and I'm gonna connect it to the normal one and then see if that works and if it would give me a signal. Nope, it's saying no signal right here, so it would not work. So it needs to be connected to the one where you will usually connect an external display to, but that's no problem. So you can connect it to that, and then the second one, you can actually charge the Mac and you will be good to go. I'm gonna try and see if I can charge at the same time. So I connected the charger, and then as you can see here at the very top, battery is at 32%. And do not say it's on low power mode. This is just saying, hey, energy mode, there is low power. If I want to turn it on, I will click on it. I know what you guys are doing in the comments and always saying, oh, you have it on low power mode. There is no low power mode right here. It's just saying energy mode, low power. I click on it. Now it's low energy mode and everything is dim and I am turning it off. So do not say, oh, you're running on low power mode. There is no power modes on the MacBook Neo. 32%, and then the power is basically an adapter and everything is working just fine, and then the display is working as well. Let's try Photoshop and let's try Clip Studio Paint and see if it's working. Okay, so now I have it connected, as you can see right here, and I just did put my laptop fan pad below it just so I can raise it a little bit, and I do not have the fan on, so it's not like to cool it or anything, but just simply to raise it just like that. Like as you can see, it's turned off here at the bottom, because I really did not want to open the stand that comes with the Huion, because it's still in its package and I have a problem with opening stuff from the package and I would like to keep them in their package. So I'm like, I'm just gonna use that in any case, and I'm gonna go screen recording. Right now display 2 is not this display, but it's the display for the laptop. I'm going to delete that, move to the trash, and I am simply using the shortcuts on the device itself. A QuickTime, and then here screen recording, and then with the screen recording I'm gonna save into documents, and then the audio coming from the laptop, and then record. So display 1, display 2, display 1, here we go. So as you can see right now, everything is working and the display is being recorded, and then here I have my Creative Cloud, which we will be testing Photoshop in a second. However, let me minimize that, and then here I have the tablet, and then the tablet is connected without any issues, and that's simply the Huion driver. And by the way, I have the Wacom driver here as well, and what I like about Mac, if you install Huion driver and the Wacom driver together, they do not interfere with each other, and I usually have them both open, and that's something I really like about Mac, which with Windows you cannot do, because with Windows that will give you a lot of issues. I simply went into the driver section, and then this is for Windows, this is for Mac, and this is for Linux. I simply downloaded the Mac OS driver right here and I hit download. And by the way, probably you can see that maybe through the minimized screen here on the bottom right, I am actually using my pen to move on the external display, or aka the tablet from Huion, without any issues. So I'm going to minimize that. I am going to minimize that as well. This is me arranging my display. So basically I made Canvas Pro 16 Plus, it's called. I made it the main one. So this, you can drag it. If you put it to the first one, the laptop screen or display would become the main one. You need to put it on the Canvas 16 Pro Plus for it to become the main one, and when it becomes the main one you can actually use it with no issues. So done. And I have it as extended display. I can, for example, mirror it or the main display, but I simply have it as an extended display. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the Clip Studio Paint. And by the way, if you want to know how the drawing tablet would perform, not like the graphic tablet or the display tablet that you are seeing, I actually made a video about that. Go ahead and check the channel for that, and then I will leave a link for you in the description and also in the comments for you to check that out. And also at the end of this video, I will leave a link for you. So after you finish that, go ahead and watch the other one. And if you like what you are seeing, please help me with a subscription, or basically, I mean a subscribe, because a subscribe will help me greatly. You cannot even imagine. So please do that. So this is a Clip Studio Paint. Let's take a look at the activity monitor. The activity monitor is just fine. Clip Studio Paint is taking about 300 megabytes. And then here, I do have everything on the green in terms of memory. And then we are using about 6 gigabytes from the memory used. And then swap memory is only like 400. So that's actually nothing. And then it's still in the green. That's not even a big deal. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the desktop, and then here I'm simply gonna use my trusty pen and then open the CSV file. So the CSV file right now is opening. This is actually good. Is it like Photoshop? Yeah, it's like Photoshop, where if you press space you can actually move around, and this is moving without any issues, and that is great. By the way, we will be testing Photoshop after that. It's just that Photoshop right now I need to install it. Actually, that's a really good test, because right now I am having Photoshop to install. Speaking of which, unattach this. Photoshop is installing, because Photoshop was on the external hard drive. I actually wanna install it on the MacBook Neo, because I decided to keep the MacBook Neo, start using it on a daily basis. It has shown me so much good performance thus far, where I am convinced that this can be my B machine. No issues at all. And then I am recording the screen. I am on the battery right here. And again, don't you dare saying I am on low power mode, because I am not. And I have this 4K display from the Canvas 16 Pro connected, because if we go here to the tablet, it's actually here the Canvas Pro 16 Plus version, and then it's in 4K as well connected. And then here I can simply move inside Clip Studio Paint with no issues. So let's go ahead and then start. Let's start hiding the clothing. Ooh, fancy. And then that's the shading. Here in terms of the eye shading, I can turn it off and turn it on, as you can see. That's no issues as well. And then here I do have another piece of clothing that we're actually gonna go ahead and then turn on, which is this one right here. So if I turn this off and then bring this, that would be. And then let's say you are checking your work and then trying to check your layers and everything, you can do that with no issues. And then here we do have the highlights. So basically I want to turn off the highlights, and then here I have the rendering, and then so this is with rendering, this is without rendering. I kind of like it without rendering, especially how this side looks right here. That's actually really nice. For that I want it actually to be black. Okay, it's different than Photoshop. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, it's different than Photoshop. So let's bring back the rendering, and then here we do have the rendering for the body as well. So now this is the brush. So let's say I wanna do a new, and then okay. So basically right now we're looking at 2. So that's gonna take a second. Okay, not bad. Is that the size of? Yeah, that's the size. Okay, so maybe 7.5. Okay, so 7.5. So Adam doing tech, please sub, and I'm gonna do a new again. Thank you for subbing. Why did it change? Why did it change? No, the color did not change. What did I press? You can tell that I don't know how to use Clip Studio Paint, and that pisses me off. I like Photoshop more. Well, it's not like I like Photoshop more, but I am more used to Photoshop. I guess that's the correct way to say it. I don't know. Let's see. So hit brush. Okay, now brush is back. Okay, good. Because I know you subbed already, so thank you for that. Photoshop is at 83%. So as soon as it's done, I will go ahead and then open Photoshop, and then we can test Photoshop as well. Clip Studio Paint, what I like about it, it's very optimized in comparison to Photoshop. Photoshop definitely takes more resources, but in a general sense, this is actually good. So here we have Clip Studio Paint at 1 gigabyte and a half almost, so 1 gigabyte and 600 megabytes, and then here you have the Windows Server at 1 gigabyte, and then the Clip Studio, which is basically original window, is at 400 megabytes. Everything is still on the green, and I have 4 canvases that are open here at the top. Okay, so Photoshop is ready. I'm gonna go ahead and open it. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this, which is the same project. And then I'm gonna start with the space. So basically moving the canvas around. It's a bit slow, but I believe this is slow because I am recording the screen and I have a lot of updates running in the background. So it's a tiny bit sluggish. So there is definitely that. Now let's see if I turn off the eye shading and I simply zoomed in. I'm trying to move the canvas around. The canvas is a little bit sluggish, but I believe this is because I am recording the screen. So that's why it's a little bit sluggish, so keep that in mind. But Photoshop in a general sense does take more resources. So as you can see right here, Photoshop actually will get you to the yellow, unlike Clip Studio Paint where it would stay in the green. And that's because Photoshop, like just one canvas and it's already taking about 3 gigabytes. So that's something to keep in mind. However, with that being said, let's see, can we turn off the eye shading? I can turn off the eye shading and I can bring it. Yep, no problem is there, no delay as well. And then let's turn off this and then bring the other clothing on. That is working without any issues. Now in terms of the lines, I can either hide them or bring them, so that's fine. And then in terms of the highlights, I can hide it, which is what I want. Then we have the render, we can take it off, then we can bring it. And then here the render for the body as well. So let's remove the render as a whole. This is what it looks like. Now let's bring the shirt back and then turn off that. Then here you have your shadow in the background. Adam. There is definitely a delay. Yep, there is definitely a delay. Adam doing tech. There is definitely a delay. So let's go ahead and turn off recording the screen. So I turned it off. Now, since I turned off the recording, you have to work with this, sadly. It's not the most pleasing angle to look at, but I just really want to test, is that gonna make the performance better or not? Now, already I am noticing a huge difference and a much better performance overall by simply ending the recording. So let's go ahead with that. Yeah, the performance is definitely better without recording the screen. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, no. When you are recording the screen, the performance is definitely... Okay, so when we actually ended the screen recording, we are sitting at the green in terms of memory, and that's like a constant green. So I think the screen recording was actually making the performance look much worse, just because you are doing so much by having 2 displays on and then recording. So Adam doing tech, please sub. Thank you. This is actually good. Let me go back to this and then choosing that. Yeah, no. Okay. There is no delay when I ended the screen recording. So without the screen recording, the performance is definitely better. However, I will say for Photoshop, if you have a drawing tablet, you should be fine. There is no issues, but with a display tablet such as this, which costs as much as the Neo itself in terms of the price, if not even more, I would say Photoshop was not the most streamlined because there is a tiny bit of a delay. Like, you really have to focus to see it. But with Clip Studio Paint, there is no problems at all. Like, Clip Studio Paint was much better than Photoshop. And maybe honestly that's me being nitpicky, because if you gave me this without me testing Clip Studio Paint, I think I'm gonna be happy with it and I'm gonna get my work done without any issues anyway. The MacBook Neo has proved itself as an excellent device for 2D artists because it can run something like this. And if you want to know if it can run a drawing tablet or not, I actually made a video about that. Again, go ahead and check it.